All right, guys, in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Richard Jefferson confronting Kendrick Perkins after his wild comments on First Take, pretty much race baiting, questioning why is LeBron working with former NBA player JJ Redick and Steve Nash, which these guys are two white men, and he questioned why isn't he working with the likes of Richard Jefferson, Frye, Draymond Green. Kendrick mentioned all these guys on First Take, and obviously those are black men.
Okay, you lose JJ Redick, and then you go out and get Steve Nash. I would never question Steve Nash's IQ or his intelligence when it comes down to the game of basketball. But Richard Jefferson just got hired as on our A team to cover the NBA Finals. He's smart as hell. Shannon Frye, who won the championship with LeBron James, who does NBA TV, he's intelligent as hell. Phil Handy, who LeBron James won 2 championships with, who's now doing his own thing, he's intelligent as hell. Hell, Draymond Green. Well, I know Draymond Green ruffled the feathers, but no one could ever question his basketball mind or his basketball IQ. He's smart as hell. So what I'm getting at is, why none of those guys, LeBron? These are your guys. Why none of those guys are on mind the game? And I'll leave it at that.
So after Perkins said all this on First Take, Richard Jefferson had actually confronted Kendrick Perkins and told him exactly how he feels, pretty much calling Kendrick out live to his face. So I want you guys to take a look and listen to what Richard said to Perk. And then also we're going to take a look at Shannon Frye because he had something to say. He went off on Stephen A. Smith for spreading false rumors on LeBron James about not attending Kobe Bryant's memorial. And then we'll come back with some more commentary. It'll be highly appreciated if you can like, share, and subscribe. Go ahead and take a listen, and I'll come back with some commentary.
Okay, so let me say this about who LeBron chose to sit next to. Bron has been on this podcast multiple times, 5 times. He sat with us after they won the 2020 championship, right? He sat with us and did an in-studio interview. Go check it out. Millions of views. Great time. He sat with us. Tens of millions. He started a podcast company that Draymond signed to. And I think this is the part. I hear you that people want his interview and that there's whoever gets it is a winner of the LeBron James sweepstakes. But we don't, in my opinion, we don't get to pick and choose. It's like, well, you could have gone here. And I know that what the undertone is of, oh, well, why would you lift up that platform and this person supported you? Yes, but he's also supported people along this line, including this podcast, multiple times. We helped launch The First Dance. We were on this podcast, and Bron said, man, if ESPN, they got to release that thing early. They used it in the promo for The Last Dance. They used this podcast audio clip. I say that to say is that he has supported and been there. So when we start picking and choosing, like they was talking about on the Gilbert Arenas podcast, when you start picking and choosing who he has to give his platform to at what time and what platform, yes, we're all going to want to win that. But if he chooses for a reason, then let's look at the history still. He has helped lift up a ton of other podcasts. He has done other things. Like, that's just true. I was there when him and JJ were talking about Mind the Game and how that got created. JJ's idea, bringing it to him. Like, we're going to fault JJ for that? So I look at this whole situation about who he gave that interview to as people just, again, picking and choosing. Because if you look at the history, he launched this podcast, was on it multiple times. He launched the podcast company that Draymond Green was signed to and JJ Redick was signed to at one time. So we can't sit here and say, well, I think he should have given it to this person to lift up. He's been lifting up platforms. That's my rant.
So before I play what Shannon Frye had to say here, I want to talk about what Richard Jefferson has stated. You see that Richard Jefferson has stated the facts to Kendrick Perkins' face. Bron has been on the Road Tripping podcast multiple times, and if you take a look at their most viewed videos, you'll see that LeBron James is actually in a few of those. And 2 of their most viewed videos is with LeBron and because of LeBron. So to make it seem like Bron is strictly just trying to do business with one race and trying to call that out on First Take and then spread false information is kind of crazy. It shows and proves that Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins were both in their feelings for what LeBron James did to both of them. But now go ahead and take a listen to Shannon Frye going off on Stephen A. Smith, and then I'll come back and we'll close the video out.
I get different perspectives from both Bron and Stephen A. and whoever else. All I ask from both parties, and I'm obviously we're close to Bron, the Stephen A. Smith side. If you're going to have an argument, please don't lie. Please don't make shit up. If you have a problem, don't make shit up and say, well, why weren't you at Kobe's funeral or memorial service? And why were you not doing this? Just fact check yourself. The beef is not fun when we know you've run out of things to talk about. I think this whole thing is hilarious personally, but to bring up a memorial service and then to bring up another thing about D Wade and Bron and why he ain't doing this, just ask somebody, where was LeBron James at? It's LeBron James. People probably know where his airplane is at all times. That's it. So just don't lie to try and win an argument or to make yourself look better. If you don't like him and say, I don't like you because of A, B, C, and D, I get it. Some people are going to like it. Some people aren't. But don't start making shit up that is way personal and has absolutely nothing to do with the beef that started when you said, I'm pleading to you as a father. Because that one sentence is the whole reason, this whole thing. And then for you to say, oh, well, I'm just talking basketball. When you say I'm pleading to you as a father, that has nothing to do with basketball. That's dead to dead, man to man, and then the basketball stuff's to the side. So let's just keep it however we want to keep it. I don't care if you like each other. I think this is hilarious. But Stephen A. Smith and ESPN folks, no offense to you guys, just don't lie and make shit up to keep this going. Let's just keep it real.
But it's dumb on both sides, bro. Like,
for sure.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, and both
it's like
are
Drake
doing
and Kendrick
wrong,
for what?
I ain't taking no sides, but both are wrong. Like, both are taking it too far. At this point in time,
Yes.
I'm exhausted. Hold on. I'm exhausted. Huh?
I like talking basketball.
So I wanted to add in that final clip with Kendrick Perkins speaking about the situation. And that's the only time I would say Kendrick Perkins is making sense. You clearly hear him say it's dumb on both sides, which is clearly obviously true. And he's saying that he's tired of it. So if you felt that way, why didn't you just say that on First Take? That is because he has to do what they tell him to do. But that's all I have for you guys. If you made it this far, it'll be highly appreciated if you can like, share, and subscribe. I love every single one of you guys. Peace.